Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Eva Mtalii and this is Eva Mtalii Finance, your #1 YouTube channel for all things side hustle, passive income, as well as working from home. So if any of those topics sound exciting to you, you want to make sure that you hit the subscribe button below. And once you have done so, please also hit the notification bell. It's on the right hand side of the subscribe button, so that every single time I shoot a new video, you do not miss out. So without much further ado, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you as a community tutor or a professional teacher on iTalki can get more students, because more students means more money. So let's dive in. So the #1 way to get more students on iTalki as an iTalki teacher or community teacher is to check out your intro video, right? Yeah, so guys, this is one of the requirements when you register on iTalki as a teacher. You have to shoot an intro video in all the languages that you are going to teach. And usually, from my experience, usually the first video that we use, the one that we get qualified on the platform, is not usually the best. But yeah, so just try your level best. Make sure that your personality comes out in your intro video, because that's all the student has to make a decision on whether to sign up with you or not, especially if you're still a new teacher and there are no reviews that the student can go with. Yeah, so as usual, make sure that your focus is what you can do for the student, how you can help them learn the new language. So don't put the focus so much on you. Ask yourself, why should this student book with Eva and not with Jane, for example? Yeah, and let that come out. If there's anything that makes you unique, anything that makes you different, any skills, experiences that you have that you can bring in your online teaching experience, make sure that that comes out. So I'll give you an example. In my profile, for example, I talk about being a YouTuber. I talk about being someone who loves to travel. I talk about playing the violin. And the reason I talk about this is because people who love to travel, you know, they just like each other. People who love to play the violin have a connection. YouTubers have a connection because we kind of have the same experiences. And just by bringing out these skills, these experiences, these hobbies in my profile, it connects me with potential students that maybe love to travel, love to play the violin, or are also YouTubers, because from the very get-go we'll have something we share in common that we can talk about. And try to make sure that as much as you mention these hobbies, these skills, these experiences, you say how they are going to contribute to the students' online learning experience. So for example, as a YouTuber, I mentioned how difficult it was at the very beginning, having an on-camera presence, being in front of the camera. And I said that having had that experience of a new YouTuber and not being comfortable in the camera, I can empathize with my student who's just coming for the first time to learn a new language virtually, and they're just going to be on camera. So that is something that helps the student feel comfortable, because they know you have walked that journey. I also am a polyglot. I speak like almost 6 languages, which I learned from the age of 10. And I talk about that also in my profile. So, and I tell the student that I understand both the joys and the pains that come with learning a new language. So if you have any experiences, any unique skills, anything that contributes to your journey as an online tutor, as a community tutor, as a professional teacher on iTalki, make sure that it comes out in your intro video, it comes out in your iTalki profile. #2 way you can increase the number of students that sign up for your classes as an iTalki community tutor or an iTalki professional teacher is your fees, your prices. Yeah, the price dynamics on a platform such as iTalki are very interesting, and sometimes as a new tutor especially, it feels like you're gonna be in a race to the bottom in terms of charging the lowest prices, especially when the competition gets high. There's more people signing up for the language that you are also teaching. There's a temptation to charge the lowest prices so that the students can pick you. Make sure that you select your prices, your fees carefully, because iTalki allows you to charge anything from $4 an hour all the way to $80 an hour. So be very strategic, be very intentional with how you charge your prices. Look at yourself. What value do you bring to your potential student? What are you worth? How much are you worth? Yeah. So make sure whatever you're charging is worth the value that you are bringing to the student. So instead of focusing on the race to the bottom to charge the lowest prices per hour, focus on giving value to your students. It means they will keep coming, they will give you the best ratings, and iTalki will automatically promote your profile because you're having good ratings, and students will automatically sign up for you. One thing I have learned, having been on iTalki for slightly over a year now, there are two main types of students on iTalki. So number one, there's those students who are just focused on finding the cheapest teacher. And then we have the other class of students who's most interested in finding the best teacher. In my experience, these second category of students are the best. They are interested in finding the best teacher for their language that they're interested in learning, and they're usually more exciting, more fun, more dedicated to teach. Now here's the catch. If you just focus on charging very low prices, you are gonna potentially cut out that student who is looking for the best teacher and probably associate a best teacher with quality education with reasonable fees. So if you charge very low, it would also reflect that maybe your quality is also very low. So be very careful with how much you charge. Which brings me to my next point. When you are just starting out, don't charge too high, but also don't charge too low, because when you're just starting out, your goal is getting a good rating, getting a sense of how the iTalki platform works, getting a sense of what areas would you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on conversational practice? Do you want to focus on the business side of things? Do you want to focus on travel and the like? Yeah. Number four way to get more students as an iTalki community tutor or as a professional teacher on iTalki is, instead of turning off the accepting new students button, focus on either reducing your availability or increasing your prices. Over time, as you get more ratings and you're rated highly on iTalki, you start getting a lot of students wanting to sign up for your classes. And this becomes more challenging, especially if you are in a position like mine where I have a regular daytime job. I have several other side hustles along being an iTalki community tutor. So there is the temptation to turn off the accepting new students button, but I would warn you against that. The moment you turn off the accepting new students button, then the algorithms are gonna not work in your favor even when you come back. It's gonna take a little longer when you come back and you're ready to accept new students because you've been away from the system and the algorithms have like kinda pushed you to the bottom of the list. So instead of doing that, I do two things. One, I either reduce my availability. So in my case, for instance, I am only available between 4 a.m. in the morning and 6 a.m. in the morning and 4 p.m. in the afternoon to 8 p.m. in the evening. This will make sure the algorithms keeps holding you in high favor and will continue recommending you to potentially new students. Number 5 way to get more students on iTalki as a community tutor or as a professional teacher on iTalki is to log into the system as frequently as possible. Anytime you are not logged into the iTalki platform and a student checks your profile, you're gonna appear as offline. And the way the algorithm works, it focuses on promoting those teachers that are online, so that even as a student is trying to make a decision on whether or not to sign up with you, and they realize that you're online, the chances of them signing up are higher. The more online you are, the higher you're gonna rank on the teacher listing as being online and available. And also the more available you're gonna be to the students, which is gonna translate to the higher chances of getting booked, which means more money for you. Anytime you find yourself online, just log into your iTalki platform, and if you're doing nothing, and just keep refreshing the page, maybe after every hour or 2 hours, just to ensure that your profile shows you as being online. Yeah. Number 6 way to get more students as a teacher or as a community tutor on iTalki is to be patient. Guys, trust the process. Before you actually get your first student signing up, don't give up too quickly. even though in my experience, the platform automatically promotes the new students and puts them at the top of the pack so that they can be picked by potential students. But even during this process, as you are waiting, don't give up too quickly. These things don't work miraculously. It takes time. And personally, what I did, it took me about less than a week actually to get my first student. And during this time, I focused on finding out how the iTalki platform works. I focused on finding different syllabuses that I can use for my Dholuo classes, for my Kiswahili classes. I focused on doing mock-up practices of how I would teach my first class, and I would urge you to do the same. Take that wait period as a learning period so that by the time you get your first client, you already know what to do. You have a syllabus in mind, you have conversational practice topics, and you're not just caught off guard. Yeah. Number 7 way to get more students as an iTalki teacher or community tutor is to turn the auto accept button on. So when you go to your teacher profile, under lessons and availability, click on availability. And once you get to that section of your platform, make sure that you enable the auto accept students, enable the allow auto accept to automatically accept lesson requests for new and current students. Yeah, so that one will make sure that even if you're offline, you can still accept lessons. Number 2, the lesson request window. Yeah, this is the minimum period of time needed for students to request a lesson from you. So currently there are 3 windows: 2 hours, 6 hours, and 12 hours. It's very important that you pick this lesson request window very carefully, because remember, you will be penalized for failing to respond to a lesson request and also for failing to attend a class. The system will penalize you and it's very punitive, and I think you're only allowed to miss 3 classes, and once you miss it, you can actually be taken out of the system, and you don't want that to happen to you. So guys, choose your lesson request window very, very carefully. Don't be greedy. If you know you cannot be online every other hour, don't go for the 2-hour window. Personally, for example, because I have a full-time job, I travel a lot, I have enabled the 12-hour request. So you cannot request a class from me in less than 12 hours because it depends on where I am. If I am in an area where there's no network, I need to find internet connection. I have to make sure I find a quiet place to hold my class, or sometimes I am in a meeting or I have a regular work that is gonna take my time. I need time to prepare. Yeah? So don't be greedy. Pick carefully your lesson request window and make sure it matches with your schedule, it matches with your other aspects of your life. Yeah, this button is also found under the lessons and availability, and then click on availability setting. Well guys, that's it for today in terms of how to get more students as a community tutor or as a professional tutor on iTalki. As usual, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave a sweet comment below, and share it with all iTalki teachers or all potential iTalki teachers that might also find it helpful. Thank you for staying up to the very end of this video. I definitely look forward to meeting you on the next one. Bye guys.